Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Come to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for September 10th, 2022, with your host, Big Jacker 2448, and Ramp It Up Salon.
Hi.
It's been a news week-ish, kind of.
Not really.
Not really. I mean, I'm sure there's something in here we'll get into for like a half hour or so.
Maybe.
But yeah, we got a little bit of everything this week. Including a big batch of Marvel stuff because D23 is this weekend. So here's a bunch of Marvel game news and slightly Disney game news. I did find out. You remember that Mirrorverse game? That's the mobile Disney game with the different characters and very odd designs and stuff because multiverse, I guess.
I believe so, yeah.
I found out that they put Dory in the game, you know, from Nemo.
Huh.
Would you care? Can you guess what they've done to Dory to make Dory work in this game?
I don't think I want to.
They put Dory in a fish tank.
No, they put Dory in a dory.
That too. Apparently I need to catch up on what Mirrorverse has done recently because I didn't know about this until today when I posted in the Soap Pop Discord because they have a chat for like different toy lines and stuff, and I saw on my timeline, oh hey, there's Disney Mirrorverse toys at D23. I'm sure someone in the Discord will appreciate this information. And then someone was like, by the way, this is what Dory's in the game. They put Dory in the game recently. This is what it looks like, and I'm like, why is Dory in a mech? Who let Dory control a mech? I feel like that's a terrible decision. I feel like that's a terrible decision, right?
Debatable.
So yeah, that happened. But anywho, before we get into the news and stuff, Dobby, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
I mean, not really much, truthfully. I mean, have now finished the entire DLC for Spider-Man again.
Hooray!
And I wish that I could get the freaking auto splitter to work because I would try to start routing a little better.
Mm-hmm.
I did test out the idea I had of completing 3-second visit on like so many worlds for KH2, and I did a 2-hour seed. So I mean, I think the thoughts I've got with it would work. Might be one of those we might try that at some point. Sounds like a good next Saturday kind of deal.
Yeah.
Really, outside of that, not much else.
Same. Work has exhausted me some days. I've actually crashed out at like 7 a couple days, which is very rare for me. I'm usually up a little bit longer than that, but I just crashed out at 7 for like 2 days straight. And I get off at 4, so I'm only at home for like like 3-ish hours before I'm just in bed asleep for the next day. So it's been rough going. But I have picked up the Splatoon 3 and played a lot of the Splatoon 3 today because I didn't get to play it yesterday. So where would you like me to start? With the least interesting stuff or the most interesting stuff?
I guess the least. Build up system.
So Turf Wars. It is Turf Wars.
Yeah.
There's not
what
much...
I saw you playing, I'm not gonna lie, I saw one of the maps and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought he was playing 3. Then I saw the death screen with the card and I'm like, he is playing. Gotcha.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot new going on here outside of the new weapons. Which I've tried the new weapons a little bit. The sword feels like it's going to take some getting used to because it is a very different kind of weapon than anything else in the game. So there's a learning curve on it. Like a hard learning curve on it. Because it works, it has a melee like the paintbrushes and stuff, but it's not as big, I think. But also, it has like a ranged charge slash that you can charge up and then like shoot forward a wave. But I think it's like a vertical wave, and the slashes are horizontal. So there's, like I said, there's a hard learning curve there. The bow is kind of like the sniper in a sense, except it's not like all about the charge. The charge is kind of like a extra thing that you can like either hit enemies with, or you can set kind of like explosives that take a couple seconds to go off. Also, if you are standing, you shoot 3 shots in a horizontal line. When you're jumping or in air, you're shooting 3 shots vertically. So there's that little bit of like patterning you're keeping in mind. I've tried both of those mainly in single player, not necessarily in multiplayer. Well, I've tried the sword in multiplayer and was terrible with it. I'm like, I probably need to stop playing this. Playing with this weapon until I'm better with it. But besides that, nothing else too interesting going on there. I guess next up from there would be Salmon Run. Still fairly structured the same, except now you have a meter that after so many matches, you'll have a king salmon spawn at the end of the game that you can optionally take out or just survive for bonus rewards and stuff. You can now customize your character for Salmon Run. You get different colored jumpsuits, along with, I think, maybe some other outfits as well. I haven't seen what those are myself, but you at least have 3 different colored jumpsuits that you can unlock now, along with a bunch of other Salmon Run themed accessories and stuff for the locker, which is kind of your new customization thing. I can say this: being able to throw the egg radically changes the gameplay.
Oh, I bet.
But here's the caveat. You're essentially consuming the same amount of ink as a grenade, because it's the other shoulder button, the throw. And it's essentially acting like a grenade. So you have to have enough ink to throw a grenade to throw the egg. So you can't just toss eggs like there's no tomorrow. No, there is a cost to throwing the egg, so you have to keep that in mind. Other than that, I believe there's an enemy that spawns that has a cannon that they shoot a ball of ink at you, but when you kill them, you can then use that cannon to shoot eggs into the canister. They're random, so it's not like a guaranteed every match, but if you see them and you see that the cannon is available to you, you can actually use that to get eggs into the basket faster. It is probably just where I'm at in the game right now, but Salmon Run feels very easy, and it's probably just because of my rank and stuff.
More than likely.
Other than that, they changed up the lobby for Salmon Run. It's the same as it is for multiplayer, where you can walk around, practice, all that hoopla. So that's all available to you while you're queued up for Salmon Run. Not much else going on with Salmon Run. I guess the next interesting thing, although it's kind of tied because, well, I guess I'll talk about the card game next. So, you know that there's a card game in Splatoon 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's neat. Essentially, you have different cards that say you ink this much space in a pattern. And you're essentially doing it like a turf war match, but with cards. It is very easy to just win a game in this, because what you do is, since you have to be in a connected square either directionally or diagonally, you essentially go from your starting point, go as far as you can towards the middle and stuff, and then you build a line across, because normally your opponent can't ink your stuff. Once you have inked the square, they have to burn a special, which they have to surround I think one of their special squares up to 4 times. Yeah, I think 4 times you have to surround a special square to get a special that allow you to actually ink your opponent's stuff and override it. So you essentially race forward, you cut the map in half with your ink, and then you fill in your back stuff. And then you essentially win. Because if they can't get their specials because you're not helping them, circle in their stuff, you win. At least that's the winning strategy I found. I don't know how long it will last, but I've only done like 4 games, so. It's neat. It's a nice little side thing. And I guess last is single player. So it is a odd little blend of the 2 single players we've gotten so far with Splatoon. So overworld exploration is Splatoon 1 and 2. You are traversing like an overworld map, working your way to essentially the levels to then play them. But there are catches. So you now have your little salmon buddy, right? You have to use him and the salmon eggs you get, the little red orb things, to clear out the fuzzy ink that allows you to access different parts of the overworld map. And different splotches take different amounts of salmon eggs, so you're incentivized to get every salmon egg you can in single-player maps. Because the sunken scrolls are not in the levels themselves. They're all in the overworld. There is, in fact, nothing hidden in the levels themselves besides, like, the hidden patches of salmon eggs. Because the levels themselves are patterned after Octo expansion. Because some of them are just, straightforward levels. Some of them are puzzle levels. Some of them are levels that allow you to select 3 different weapon loadouts and gives you rewards dependent upon those weapon loadouts. And even the general feel of the story mode of the single player and stuff feels more akin to Octo expansion than it does 1 and 2. So I feel like it's the best of both worlds and kind of what I wanted coming out of 2 after playing Octo expansion.
Say that, actually.
And our little salmon buddy has uses in combat as well. Actually, he has several uses. So he's essentially a grenade option now. Because you throw him with the right bumper. You can throw him at boxes that are out of range to break them and get the things from them. As long as it's not something you have to actively pick up, I believe. You can throw him at objects that you have to hit, and he will hit them. So like the spinning targets that like extend out platforms, or I think sponges probably. I don't think I've tried on sponges, but things you'd have to hit that have to be hit multiple times for things to do. he can do that for you. You can throw him at them and he'll keep doing it until you call him back. Or you walk far enough away that he comes back to you automatically. Also, he can attack enemies and kill them. It takes a while, but he can do that as well. He can also distract enemies. You can throw him on the ground and enemies will be distracted by him and you can kill them from behind. This little guy is the most has the most utility of any grenade in all of Splatoon. He has so many uses to you on like a per level basis. It's really cool what you can do with him. And it's like, I'm not that far in the game. I'm at what is essentially the second batch of levels. And I've done 2 bosses, which I don't want to say who the bosses are because I very much feel like the story mode is meant to be we're doing something different now.
I do know about one of.
Is it the first one or the second one?
I don't know which order. But I also kind of don't want to say it because I feel like that might be the one that you're talking about, to be fair.
Put the name in our Discord chat. Because the first boss very much says we're doing something differently, and then the second boss is like, oh, we're doing something very different. It's a 1-2 punch of deals.
Because that one I know.
That is boss 1.
Okay. I kind of figured that would have been boss 1, but yeah.
Yeah, that is boss 1. Boss 2 is also we're doing something very different as well. By the way. Other than that, the Squid Sisters and Captain Agent 3, I don't know what their name is now. Because you're Agent 3 in this game. You're playing Agent 3. But the person that was Agent 3 in Octo expansion is now Captain. Because Captain Cuttlefish is essentially retired. So I don't know what former Agent 3's name is now, besides, I guess, just Captain 3. Which I'm sure is not confusing at all. But yeah, what I've played as a single player is very good. I'm really enjoying it. It has been very fun. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how things unravel, because there's another thing besides the Sunken Scrolls that you can unlock, and you just unlock them by beating levels, and it gives you, for the first time I feel like, real hard backstory about how the Splatoon universe came about. Because I think there's all been these like hints and nods to how the Splatoon universe came about, and this is like the first time that they've really kind of explained it. And that's what this, I forget what it is. It's something log. I forget the exact name for it. But it's actually like giving you the details of like, this is how the Splatoon universe came to be, essentially. And I am sure there will be a few twists along the way.
But of course.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm enjoying Splatoon 3. I can't wait to not get to play it that much, because I'm going to come home and be tired and not feel like playing Splatoon. Until it's the weekend. 40 more days. It's just 40 more days. Which sounds like a lot, but... But besides that, I've got my new bookcase, cabinet, whatever you want to call it, for Soto stuff in this past week. I'm gonna try to put it there tomorrow, so I can be future proof for whenever we get like Soto Chronicle, Wizard, and Drive, and Forza, because they haven't done those yet, and I really want them to. I got the Steve and Alex amiibos in. I forgot I ordered them until I saw the text message saying, hey, by the way, you have this other package coming in today. And I'm like, wait, why would I have another package coming in Friday besides the one I already know? Oh, right, the amiibo. And I have Buy 9, and I got the double Evil T Live Aguilera variant of it, because there was 3 variants of Buy 9, because they only did 10 figures for it. Or 10 boxes for it, not 10 figures. They only did 10 boxes, so 2 of the figures are essentially duplicated. And there's 3 variants from what I've seen. There is Evil T Live Aguilera, there is Crimson Veil Destrium, and then there is Over Demons Aguilera. So essentially, the secondary writer and the only other important person in this set that gets to show up multiple times. The Veil spin-off people or the Weekend people. That is your case variants, essentially. So I have an extra Aguilera and an extra Evil T Live, which I don't know what to do with. I have an idea of what to do with the Evil T Live, depending on what the live Demons V Cinema does. But the Aguilera, I'm like, we're gonna get the other Aguilera from like Girls Remix eventually, so I don't know what to do with it. I'll figure out something, I guess. In the pile of Soto projects that keep piling up, as I look to my left and I see 6 of them. Well, no, not 6. I think like 9 at this point. Anywho, anything else before we get into the news?
I don't guess.
All right, then. D23 is this weekend. That is the Disney convention, aka the Disney Marvel, whatever fucking else convention that Disney owns at this point.
Disney, Marvel, Lucas.
Pretty much.
Did you miss that one, by the way?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that. Even though I saw some of the Star Wars news that came out, I'm like, some of this looks cool. Okay. Granted, some people took one look at, I think it was the Thunderbolts lineup from Marvel, and are like, this Thunderbolt lineup sucks. And I'm like, y'all haven't even seen the movie yet. We don't even know what the movie's about, and y'all are already like poo Pikachu on this roster. It's not the worst thing in the world. How about you see why this team is why it is, instead of just dunking on this team? Because like I already see a reason why this team is like it is, considering what most of them have in common.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if I can find a picture real quick of it. Yes, thank you, Proton John Discord, for having it right there in their TV discussion, this chat. Because the lineup is Vale, who's, I presume, the one getting this team together. Ghost from the Ant-Man and Wasp movie. Red Guardian from the Black Widow movie. Yelena from also that Black Widow movie. Bucky from various things at this point. U.S. Agent from the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. And then Taskmaster, also from the Black Widow movie. More or less making this Black Widow 2 in a sense, since, you know, about half this team is Black Widow related.
What puzzles me though, with that lineup, is the fact that based off of where we ended Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Why is Bucky on this team?
Okay, that's the thing. So, considering how this is positioned, because from left to right, it is Vale, Ghost, Red Guardian, Yelena in the center, Bucky, US Agent, Taskmaster. So, who on here on this team currently is explicitly a villain? From where we last left them, mind you.
Rare.
Where we last left them, because that is, I know someone's gonna name, Ghost in that conversation, but I'm like, no. So Vale, who seems to explicitly be some sort of villain of some kind, because she's being manipulated and all that. And then Taskmaster, kind of. Where Taskmaster seems to be kind of the wild card in all this, because we don't know where Taskmaster falls in all this. But what about our 5 characters in the center? So, US Agent's is being manipulated clearly from where we last left him. But also, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Ghost, from where we last left her, seemed to have trying to change her ways, but also still, needs the stuff to heal her so she doesn't phase out of existence. And because of the snap, that's kind of questionable right now. So we don't know what her current status is.
Well, okay. That is technically questionable.
Yeah.
Except the good thing about the way it was done, they could technically just be, oh yeah, she was dusted too.
Right. That's part of why I said it's questionable. We don't know what her...
I'm fine with that one being yeah, we left a plot thread there, but technically it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Bucky is Bucky. He's probably gotten pulled into this because of some bullshit that he's incredibly exhausted by. Also, I saw someone say that there are 3 Captain America wannabes on this team, and I'm like, I'm sorry, when was Bucky a Captain America wannabe in the MCU at this point? That was never a thing. That's never been a thing. We have bypassed Bucky Cap in favor of doing Sam Cap. And Bucky has been completely okay with that. So I don't know why why someone is thinking that Bucky is a Captain America wannabe, because he's not. That's never been his deal in the MCU. But anyway. We have Red Guardian here, who last we left as a fugitive? Question mark? Is he technically a fugitive since we did break him out of prison?
I mean, I would assume so.
Right. And then we have Yelena, who, was a spy and an assassin and all that, and also knows that Vale put her on the wrong track with stuff, kind of. So we have 4 explicitly not bad people, but are or could be manipulated potentially into a situation. We have one who's already being manipulated in this situation, and then we have someone who can be probably controlled. And then we have the person on the far left who is the one pulling the strings. I wonder if this Thunderbolts team is being pulled together for not good reasons. Because also I saw people being like, where's Zemo and all this? And I'm like, do we even know who the fuck these people are dealing with in this movie? No? I wonder who it could be then. I wonder if who they're having to fight might be Zemo in all of this, or Zemo is involved in this in some capacity. We don't know, because we know nothing about this goddamn movie. How about y'all chill for 5 minutes?
You know what? That could be the reason for Bucky.
Yeah.
It still
'Cause instead
doesn't
of-
make sense that he would agree to it
Right.
based off of where we were at there, but
Because last we've
at
seen
the
Zemo
same
should
time, it was kind of Bucky's idea to break Zemo out.
Right. Because last we left Zemo, he should be in a Wakandan prison.
Should be.
Except, oh, wait, what's happening to Wakanda right now? Oh, that movie's happening before this one. I wonder who might be getting out of jail because shit's going down in Wakanda. Like, chill a little bit, folks. Let us actually find out what the fuck this movie is about before we say that this is garbage. Granted, that's kind of my one problem with MCU announcements these days, especially coming out of D23, is most of them didn't have a whole lot of information with them to start with. So I'm like, why are we having this conversation?
Here is really my problem. When I first found out that that was going to be the idea kind of deal for a Thunderbolts movie, yeah, they've been setting it up. I'm not going to be one of those to be like, oh, they weren't setting this up, this is out of left field. No, they've been setting it up. It's clear.
Yeah.
The problem I have is it doesn't feel like Thunderbolts should really be introduced before Kang is done.
Yeah.
I think we should have gotten through that and then did something else.
Once more, I feel like instead of doing a bunch of multiverses stuff, that we're not going to go all in on the idea because that wouldn't be fun. Instead, we're just going to get, I don't know, slight variations of the characters we already have. Why not we get essentially a Dark Avengers and we just brand them as Thunderbolts because that's a cool name. Why don't we just use that instead of Dark Avengers? Because that's, I don't know, more marketable.
It's one of those, I kind of feel like while they should go with the Thunderbolts, it should be after Phase 6.
Yeah.
Because there's enough that can be done to lead up to the next two Avengers movies without that.
Mm-hmm. And I also feel like they might have had to take the movie and rewrite it a little bit because some part of me feels like that Thunderbolt Ross might have been a part of this movie at one point, but with the passing of his actor, yeah, that can't happen anymore.
I agree and disagree with you.
Fair. It's just one of those gut feelings.
Because
I have nothing to back that up.
Because one, we've already had a point where we've had a character be recast. So in theory, that can happen.
Yeah.
Is it likely? Probably not. But two, there's nothing stopping them from having him off screen turn into Red Hulk.
That too.
And have someone that's voice is similar enough, especially since a Hulk is all CGI anyhow, it wouldn't be hard to get characteristics to use. I feel like that's going to be the play. And if that's the case, that's probably the only reason Thunderbolts is getting pushed where it is. Is just so they can introduce another Hulk.
Might as well. Anywho, Marvel and Game Showcase, or Disney and Marvel Game Showcase. We're probably gonna skip through some of this because how do you feel about an Avatar MMORPG for mobile devices?
I feel like next.
Same. Like, I saw the tweet of it being announced that the second Avatar movie was just started filming, and someone quote tweeted it and saying, "Is that a threat?" That's a threat, and I'm like, agreed. That's a threat. Don't you threaten me with a bad time, or no, a boring time, mind you, because Avatar 1 wasn't bad. It was boring. I saw it in theaters. Return to Monkey Island. I think this has been shown off quite a bit. It comes out next week. Actually, in about 2 weeks or so. So, not much to talk about here. Marvel World of Heroes from the Niantic people. You know, that did the Pokemon Go and stuff. Would you like Pokemon Go, but Marvel? I take the silence as a no.
Trying to figure out how the heck they would pull that one off.
I have no idea. I believe Niantic's other game that they did recently just didn't work out either. So I'm like, this probably isn't going to work out either. I believe one of Naughty Dog's, I believe, directors is doing this. Oh my god, I cannot change the volume on this so it is not blasting in my ears. Because the embed is screwed up. But we're heading back to World War II to get a Captain America and Black Panther team up. This is coming from Skydance New Media. I believe one of, like I said, Naughty Dog's directors is in charge of this. We're essentially getting Steve as Cap in World War II, T'Challa's grandfather, who was Black Panther at the time, Gabriel Jones, who is one of the Howling Commandos, and Nanali, who is a part of Wakanda's spy network. The four of them will be teaming up to do a romp through World War II. Some part of me feels like this is going to be one of those 4-player co-op games, since, you know, 4 characters. They seem to be the prominent part, kind of half and half. Wakanda, U.S. military. Kind of got that feeling. No other details on this. Not even a title. This is just a Captain America Black Panther game. Any thoughts?
No.
It feels weird that our regular soldier person here is just not Bucky. In this, it's like, why aren't we just playing as Bucky? Disney Speedstorm is getting some updates, new characters. They're getting a Monster Inc. expansion. Skywalker Saga Galactic Edition will be bringing on some new characters and stuff. Nothing else there. Alien Dark Descent, which I believe we've already talked about, because yes, I recognize this trailer. We've already talked about this, so nothing new there. Marvel Snap, a new mobile card game for the Marvel. They're getting a bunch of artists and stuff to do different versions of characters, because it's a big multiverse focus. So, it looks fine. It's a card game. Marvel's Midnight Suns is dated for... I forget. because the trailer is not here for some reason, because I don't know, someone screwed up the embed. December 2nd is when we're going to finally be able to play this. We're also going to get a bunch of animated shorts that will serve as a prequel to the game for those that care. Illusion Island is a new co-op multiplayer platform game focused on Mickey and friends. It reminds me of those new Mickey shorts that I see clips and stuff of, and the art style.
Probably because it is.
It honestly, it does. But yeah, it's honestly, I agree with the comparison. It looks very Rayman Origins in a respect. And how they're doing the movement and stuff, so. And last up, Tron Identity, a new Tron game coming to Steam. You get visual novel gameplay, puzzles with ID discs, and not much else because there is nothing to show for this. How hard is it to ask, if you're going to do a big showcase of games, give us something more than a fucking teaser for them? Please? Can I get a little bit of gameplay? Can I get a little bit of an idea of what the hell this game is?
Nope.
Then a vague teaser? But yeah, any thoughts on any of that, I guess?
No.
Well,
Nothing really jumped out at me.
fair. All right, we're gonna move on. This is more of an announcement than any big news things. So, Games Done Quick, after being in person for SGDQ just recently, have announced that for AGDQ coming in January, if I recall correctly. Yes, January 8th to the 15th. That they are going back to online only. They've got a full thread here that we've got in the show notes and stuff talking about why that is. The main thing is Florida is being a shithole. Just to put it bluntly, Florida is being shitty, and we don't feel comfortable hosting the event at Florida now. Between rolling back of COVID related productions and stuff, and various LGBTQ plus shitty laws that they have put into place, the folks at GDQ do not feel comfortable hosting the event there. Unfortunately, having to cancel the event at the venue because they had a contract for it is costly. So they are now going to have to try to make up the money for canceling the event at that venue. But holding it online, they feel it will be safer in general. Also, I've seen people point out that, hey, we can get a lot more international people and folks that maybe not be able to come out physically to one of the GDQ events to be able to once more be a part of GDQ, of AGDQ. So but yeah, how do you feel about all of this?
Part of me wants to be like, okay, it's Florida, what did you expect?
Fair. Very fair. There's a reason that Bugs Bunny gif of sawing off Florida and letting it float the fuck away is a very popular one these days.
I guess on I guess on that note, though, I mean, it is probably going to be better in the long run for it to be an online. I get the not having the crowd there, though.
Having the crowd there, having the community come together and, be able to be together and all that.
I know it would be super unfeasible for it, but it would kind of be nice if they could do maybe like a Zoom call setting that you could watch it while the runner is actively doing it, so they could have that interaction kind of deal.
Right.
But I know there's going to be way too much overhead for something like that.
Yeah, there'd have to be a lot of moderation for that and a lot of policing for it to keep that one clean.
Well, not really. Because all you'd have to do is do it just like you would a live event. They don't have to uber moderate the actual live events.
Yeah.
I mean, if they treated it similar to that, it would be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But it's more the back end side of things.
Yeah, they have enough back end to deal with doing an online only event as is.
And then to add more to it, yeah, that would just that would be nightmare.
But yeah, at the very least, good on GDQ for making the call several months out from getting anything up, getting any of the process started for AGDQ anyway, for being ahead of the curve on this, because some people aren't with situations like this, because it is September and they are talking about all of this for an event that is in January, that is still several months out.
You know why, though? Game and volunteer submissions open literally tomorrow.
Well, it's not that far, not as far as I thought it was then.
Yeah.
So it's still a little last minute, but you know what? It's still better than announcing this shit like the week of the event in general. But anything else?
No?
All right, let's talk the Pokemans. So we had a new trailer, more or less showcasing the 3 routes that they've been talking about for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And this article kind of breaks down a lot of the stuff we saw. There's apparently an auto battle now. I didn't really pick that up in the trailer, but apparently you have the option of just sending your Pokemon out to fight wild Pokemon without your supervision and without you giving direct commands to get experience and stuff. So that's kind of neat. Kind of lessens the grind. We have names for our 3 story paths. Victory Road, which is going to be the standard gym path. Starfall Street, which seems to be the rival stuff with this person we'll talk about here in a bit. This extra ass person. Holy shit. And then Path of Legends, which I guess is more focused on legendaries and stuff. So Victory Road, pretty standard. There's gym battles and stuff. They seem to also be incorporating some of the stuff we got in Sun and Moon by having like non-traditional gym battle stuff as tests, I guess, to get access to the gym. So yay. Otherwise, not much else. Starfall Street. We have our rival team. We have our team now. It's Team Starfire Crew. They're just the gang from Mad Max. That's just it. They're just the people from Mad Max. Because look at this person. What was their name? What is their name? Mela. Mela is their leader, who is riding on top of this giant car stereo disco ball entertainment system that I believe has a Pokemon as an engine. Because they haven't talked about this, but that's a Pokemon, right? As the engine block of this damn contraption.
Maybe.
If it is not, I don't know what that is then. But yeah, you're taking them on and stuff. I don't. How do you feel about this? I'm kind of on board just because of the craziness of it. We're just fighting a Mad Max gang. Because they're a bunch of rowdy students. They're just playing their music too loud and causing a ruckus.
Honestly, I'm not too sure how to feel about it at the moment.
But lastly, it's the Past Legends. We're going to be dealing with Herba Mystica, which are rare Palladian ingredients. And they're apparently guarded by Titan Pokemon, which are bigger versions of Pokemon. Like our crab friend here, who is internally just shitting himself. Any thoughts on the other two stories then, before we get to the characters?
No.
Alright, we've got a grass type leader with Bracius. We have our boss of Team Starfire, Starsfire crew, Mela. We have our league chairwoman, Gita. Not much given on the three of them. But our new Pokemon, the reason for the title of the show, we have two new Pokemon in the form of Ceruledge and Armor Edge. They are essentially net navies from Mega Man.exe. They are literally just net navies. I think the article link just below the paragraph for it gives you the images of the three of them. But yeah, they're net navies. I believe they're version exclusives. I haven't seen specific information. Okay, yeah, they are version exclusives. And they are opposites. Actually, no. Oh, okay, no. I thought they were color opposites, but no. Armor Edge is the gold one here that is exclusive to the Scarlet. And then Ceruledge Edge, which is the Ghosty Blade one, is exclusive to Violet. Armor Edge is Fire Psychic, and Ceruledge is Fire Ghost. And then we have Cloth, the eternally scared shitless Pokemon that is just a giant rock crab. He is... What is his typing? Does this article not say what his typing is? Am I missing it? I'll just look it up.
Nope, you're not missing it.
Okay, he's rock type. He's just straight up a rock crab. So, how do you feel about our new Pokemans? Does the exclusive swing you one way or the other?
Not fully, because you usually can get the other one relatively easy.
Fair. I was actually talking to a coworker of mine about this. He was surprised that I liked Pokemon, because apparently I didn't look like the kind of person who would like Pokemon. Or, I guess, geek nerd stuff in general? I'm not sure what he meant by that. I will say, I do prefer Ceruledge over Armor Edge. I don't know, something about just having two ghost swords like dual wielding ghost fire swords kind of hits it for me.
Fair.
Over the one that has shoulder pads that combine into a cannon. Because the shoulder pads apparently come down on his arms and he holds them together to fire shots with the cannon. And I'm like, that's not as cool as ghost fire swords. And Spectral Night Navi. I'm kind of on board with the other one. Cloth he's a rock crab. He just needs a hug. I just want to give this crab a hug because he needs it. He's dealing with too much shit. Besides that, we have a map that we can set waypoints on. So like we have a full map of the area we can set waypoints on and all that. And there's an OLED version for Scarlet and Violet they're going to come out with. So it's got the legendaries on the charge station, and it's got the Joy-Cons that are orange, that are Scarlet and Violet, and they have the 2 different school emblems on them. So neat. Any thoughts on the rest of that then?
No.
How we feeling on Scarlet and Violet at the moment with this new info? Still about the same?
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's not really... I feel like it still lacks the thing that I need for it to be like, okay, got me sold on that one.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of cool things here, but it still feels like we're missing the big stuff, I feel like. We're missing that little bit to get going. Like, I feel like I'm still leaning towards, if I'm picking this up, I'm still leaning towards Violet, because I prefer Future Bike over Fred Flintstone Bike. But as I told my coworker, Fred Flintstone Bike has its own charm, now that I see it as that, rather than as, why are you not a bike, but still pretending to be a bike? Wait, no, you're just Fred Flintstone. This is Fred Flintstone logic. This is Flintstone's logic. Okay, this has its charm now. I'm back on board. But yeah, I'm essentially like 2-0 on Violet at the moment. Unless, I don't know, something in Scarlet really hits it for me. But we'll see. Shall we talk Halo then?
It depends.
Hang on 1 second. We have a new TTFC special announcement for Ryder. And, but strap in. So, do you remember that, the second president special we had and stuff, and where we left off with that, right?
I have not seen them.
Okay. Essentially, Dan is back. He has his Sephiroth gas hat, and there's apparently some thing that wants to take out bad guys. We have the follow-up to that. It is called Kamen Rider Outsiders. Is a new TTFC special. It will feature Dan returning once more, doing his Dan stuff. Mari from Fives is going to become Delta for some reason. The Oja, Guy, and Zolda suits are also here. Kenzon and Disaster also here. Along with Hirobi, who's here. You know, not dead.
But huh?
I will say this: it is the Hirobi rider suit, not Hirobi himself, that is appearing in this trailer. I have not seen Hirobi the person. So I don't know if it's Hirobi or a copy of Hirobi or something. Fucking I don't know. This is certainly a TTFC special, because TTFC specials are fucking bonkers at this point. Also, apparently it's going to be Genom versus Hirobi, Kenzan versus Disaster, the Mari Delta versus Orphanok King, and Oja versus Zelda, along with guy in there somewhere. I don't fucking know I don't know what's happening anymore. I linked you the trailer in
yeah.
Discord. It's I don't know what's happening. Also, Rit is here in person. So, any thoughts on this, I guess, before we go back to trying to talk about Halo? TTFC over here going, fuck canon, we're doing our own thing. I'm kind of okay with it. They're just like, oh yeah, Hirobi's dead? Ah, fuck that. No, he's not. He's back. We're throwing that out the window.
You know, I think what's worse about that is because then that does, truthfully, if this is considered in canon, this then solidifies the point of why we're so ticked off about the V-Cinemas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang it.
Anywho, Halo, to walk away from whatever nonsense TTFC is throwing at us this week. So we got some dates and stuff for important information. So, and by dates I mean relative dates. Campaign co-op is apparently slated for November 8th now, definitively, hopefully. It'll be part of the winter update that they're doing. Campaign co-op is only online for the current moment, I believe, or might just be in general. I don't think they're going to try to do it local. Yeah, they have no local split screen co-op at all. The Forge beta will also be launching at that time, with 2 multiplayer maps, Agriel and Detachment, created entirely in Forge. And we're going to see community updates in September, October for that. It will also include a free 30-tier battle pass along with the new Match XP beta. Match XP will be the primary method of progressing through the battle pass for running players by simply for playing regardless of modes, and takes into account your victories and performances, which is what they photoshopped fucking Ben to start with, because that's what was in fucking Master Chief Collection. Why the fuck did you change it to start with? God damn it. We will also get a round-based mode called Covert One Flag. 2 teams against each other. The attacking squad's loadout consists of unlimited active camo, sidekicks, and carbines. Defenders sport unlimited threat sensors, energy swords, and commando rifles. It is essentially spies versus mechs, or mercs? Looks like what else are we getting? Besides that, there's a update from March through June called Echoes Within. New maps for Arena and Big Team Battle. A M392 Bandit weapon will be added. A Shroud screen will be added, which kind of looks like a bubble shield, but I guess it's obscures. 100-tier Battle Pass. Custom game browser. A new narrative event. Forge beta updates. In-game reporting. VIP and escalation as new game modes. And a new Fracture event. So yeah, how do you feel about the new Halo stuff?
I feel like, you know, the game should have had that before it was released.
Yeah, that's
you know, we should have completed game before releasing game kind of concept.
Matt McBustles, if you're listening to this, which if you are, why the fuck are you listening to us? Where is my what happened on Halo Infinite? Because clearly something fucky happened with Halo Infinite, because there is no way in hell that they beta tested all of this Battle Pass progression shit in Master Chief Collection and decide, you know what, we're not going to do all of that. We're going to do something entirely different. But then have to backpedal and do exactly what we had in Master Chief Collection that we also took an eternity to get right to start with, because that was a nightmare in development in of itself. But yeah, I don't want to say it's too little too late, but like, fuck's sakes, just delay your game. Please, just delay your game. Just push it back. It's okay. It's okay. Just push it back. Stop trying to rush it out the door, please.
Yeah, because to be fair, I did enjoy the campaign. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I'm like, you know, I really don't care about the co-op now. Because that should have been something early on.
Speaking of things like that, you remember Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
So they finally have announced the expansion. Phantom Liberty is going to be coming to new-gen consoles and PC next year. They showed off during one of their events. A spy thriller expansion will see Johnny Silverhand return, who is played by Keanu Reeves, alongside new characters. It'll be a part of the Edge Runners update, which is the 1.6 update. I'm seeing no other major information about it, because of course not. Is there anything? Oh, good lord, this is 23 minutes. No, please. Where is just this teaser? Can we not just have this teaser? Is it?
Weren't you just saying you wanted a little more content with stuff instead of just a teaser? Unfortunately, too much content is just as bad.
Yeah. Also, this is just a CG teaser.
Sounds about right.
You can't fool me. This is just a CG teaser. So yeah, Cyberpunk trying to rehab its issues. They'll get there, maybe. Anywho, anything else?
Nah.
All right then. Releases. We're gonna start on the 13th with Voice of Cards: The Beast of Burden for PlayStation 4 and Switch, and the remake of 13 limited edition for Switch. Let's Excuse me. On the 14th, you suck at parking for Xbox One and Series X. I don't know. Cube 10th anniversary for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. It is. We're in. We're starving for games, right? For interesting games, I guess. On the 15th,
Crap ton of Switch and Xbox arcade stuff.
That looks like it. There's nothing here of note that I'm seeing in this list at all. Bear and Breakfast for Switch. That's an interesting name. Ko the Kangaroo Top of the Class for Switch. Let's see. On the 16th, Amazing Chicken Adventures for Xbox One. Kitten's Head Football for Switch. Plunder Panic for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. On the 19th is Return to Monkey Island for Switch. On the 20th, Construction Simulator Extended Edition for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, and 5. Stray for PlayStation 5. On the 22nd, No Place for Bravery for Switch. Slime Rancher 2 game preview for Series X. Spider Heck for Xbox One, Series X, and Switch. Train Life, a railway simulator for Xbox One, Series X, and PlayStation 5. And then last up on the 23rd, Car Mechanic Pinball for Switch. DreamWorks Dragons Legends of the Nine Realms for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. IAI for Series X. Shovel Knight Dig for Switch and iOS. And that's all I got, folks. There's so much here that I'm just like, these are names of things, and I do not care because none of them sound that interesting. So, anything else then?
No, besides the fact that, I'm starting to realize that sometimes we need just a truncated list of releases.
A truncated list of things that sound interesting, at least. But yeah, folks, that's pretty much going to do it. Tomorrow, we'll be talking Ace Attorney, the last of the Season 1 episodes, before we move on to Season 2. Next Thursday, we continue Duelist of the Roses, which I forgot Bones' gimmick, who is listed as Necromancer in that game. I forgot his gimmick of, I'm going to get Pumpkin King of Ghosts, flip him up on the field, and now all of my monsters get 100 attack power every turn. Just kill it before it gets too bad, and yeah, that was a problem. And next Friday will be
or Star Citizen.
Star Citizen. I'm not looking at the schedule at the moment.
Apparently this updated.
Okay. Apparently this Outsiders TTFC special is getting its own fucking Twitter account. They're going in on this.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I have no idea. I don't know what's happening anymore with TTFC. I think they've just said, fuck canon, we're doing whatever we want, and no one has told them no. And I think I'm okay with that at this point. be like, fuck it, we're just doing whatever we want. Who cares? If it goes nowhere, it goes nowhere. And then next Saturday will be something else.
Yes, it'll be a thing.
Yep.
A thing with a game.
So if you like what you see, folks, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away at that affiliate goal at DGZone on Twitter gets the updates of our life. Next mission point, Discover and check it. Still starting. Drop by, say hi. See you tomorrow, folks.